Good evening. You're watching the news on Croatian television. Defense Minister Ivan Anušić and the Chief of the General Staff of the Armed Forces, Lieutenant General Tihomir Kundid, were received in Berlin on Monday by German Defense Minister Boris Pistorius. Croatia has agreed to purchase the latest version of the Leopard tank while sending out older tanks and combat vehicles to Ukraine. So far, Croatia has contributed 11 military aid packages worth €200 million to the war-torn country.
30 M83 battle tanks and 30 M80 infantry combat vehicles will be sent to Ukraine in order to help the Ukrainians fight for their independence and freedom. According to the agreement we have made with Germany, Croatia will purchase up to 50 of the newest generation Leopard tanks.
The German minister directly addressed the Croatian public in an effort to allay fears about the NATO security assistance and training mission for Ukraine, saying it would not lead to an open conflict with Russia.
NSAT-U is nothing more than the existing support meetings held in Ramstein, but better organized and more efficient. NSAT-U is not an escalation. NSAT-U does not mean that we will have boots on the ground in Ukraine. There will be no direct or indirect participation in the war. It is merely an instrument to coordinate various NATO activities. I would very much like Croatia to be a part of the mission. I can reassure you there is no reason for concern.
Meanwhile, the presidency of the ruling HDZ met on Monday to discuss current affairs, including the country's participation in the NATO training mission for Ukraine. A joint session of Parliament's Foreign Affairs Committee and the Croatian delegation to the NATO Parliamentary Assembly is scheduled for Wednesday. NATO's acting Deputy Secretary General, Boris Ruge, is expected to attend.
Milanovic is lying. He's been firmly within the Russian camp for years, and he's trying to ruin Croatia's credibility within NATO and the EU. The man would love to destroy Croatia's international reputation. That's his goal. As for his followers, instead of using their own heads, they're turning a blind eye to common sense. If I were concerned about a NATO mission, I'd be grateful if the second in command at NATO came here so I could ask him some questions. Look, we are already a part of NATO. If we do not send 2 officers to Germany, it will send a bad message, and it will directly impact our credibility with our allies.
In other news, the president of the Nurses Union, Krunoslav Kušec, said that some 4,000 radiologists, lab workers, pharmaceutical technicians, and nurses could go on strike as soon as next week. The announcement was made earlier today after the union failed to reach an agreement with government representatives on increasing salary coefficients.
The entire diagnostics system will come to a halt in the majority of healthcare institutions in Croatia. There will be no MRIs. Blood samples will not be processed. There will be no X-rays. There will be absolutely nothing. I feel sorry for the patients. However, we have no choice but to go on strike.
Lastly, Rimac Automobili has issued a safety recall for 9 units of the Nevera hypercar. The company cited safety concerns related to a low-voltage cable, which may not have been secured properly at the factory. The $2 million Nevera has a fully electric 1,914 horsepower motor at a top speed of 412 kilometers per hour.
We have reached out to Nevera owners to address concerns regarding the installation of the low-voltage C19 power line. Namely, during a regular quality check in our production process, we noticed a potential problem. While no incidents or customer complaints have been reported and no safety issues have been identified with the vehicles, we are taking proactive steps to ensure the highest standards of safety and performance.
Taking a quick look at sports, national team manager Zlatko Dalic has called up 25 players for the upcoming UEFA Nations League matches against Scotland and Portugal, which will take place on the 15th and 18th of November. Croatia currently sits in second place in Group 1 of the top-tier A League. A win in Glasgow would guarantee a spot in the semi-finals.
We have put ourselves in a good situation ahead of the last meeting of the year. Now we need to take advantage of that and achieve our set goal, which is to reach the quarterfinals. We are fully focused on winning the match against Scotland, which can guarantee we move forward. Afterwards, we will think about Portugal and the match in Split, where we will put on a show in front of a full Poljud stadium.
And in domestic football league action, the 11th round wrapped up on Sunday with a 1-0 win by Gorica at home against Istra 1961, while earlier in the day, Dinamo lost 4-2 to Osijek in the nation's capital. Hajduk is on top of the standings with 27 points. Rijeka and Dinamo round out the top three with 21 and 20 points, respectively.
I don't know what to say. I congratulate my teammates, the coaching staff, and the entire club. We deserved this win. We fought from the first minute of the game. We definitely deserved the win. Scoring goals in games like this is very important. However, I'm more concerned about our defense. We were very unstable today. I'd even say we were weak. During my first stint with this club, I don't think the team conceded 4 goals at home in 10 games.
The forecast for Tuesday calls for partly sunny skies in the interior and mostly sunny along the Adriatic coast. Morning fog around the continent and the northern coast. Winds in the interior mostly weak, while the coast will get a weak to moderate northeasterly. Morning lows of 7 to 10 degrees Celsius in the interior and from 12 to 16 on the coast will give it a daytime highs of between 18 and 23 degrees around the country. And looking at the days ahead, stable weather in the interior. Mostly sunny during the day with morning fog and low-lying clouds. Light rain possible on Thursday. Winds weak while temperatures around the seasonal average. The coast can expect plenty of sunshine, especially in Dalmatia, with morning fog in the north. A weak northeasterly in the morning will gain strength on Thursday. And that brings us to the end of our program. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again tomorrow night.